We're
here today to decipher some of the problems some of the customers have been complaining about. They've been buying parts on eBay and some other sites. I'm here today to try to help people make better decisions about their buying. If you're buying used parts online, get a guarantee with them. Get somebody that's reputable. Every baler we bring in here, other than if it's been technically blowed up, which usually they're scrapped, gets tested here. We pull the baler in, whether it's rotted out or bad or not. We physically hook it up. We bale out of our barn, hay into the baler. We test them. If the parts tie and the baler functions, we pull off good parts. And now I'm going to show you some parts on this baler. We get to decipher good and bad parts. We have two Tucker finger control shafts. This is a 24T. This is a 336. Real similar. They use the same arms. They use the same arch to drive them. The only difference is you got a little more length here on the 336. You notice how they're straight. The arms are parallel. These are American made here in America with American steel. John Deere can't say that most of their parts anymore. This piece here is also made here. Anything we offer aftermarket, unless it specifies different, it's made here in the US, right here in this country with American steels, as long as I can. Now I'm going to show you what a bent one looks like. If you see how this one's nice and straight, you can see this one here. You can see this arm's twisted. It's got a bow here. You can see this arch has been moved. You see, compared to the other one, you can see the differences in them. And when these get bent and twisted, a lot of the trouble with balers, they say, oh, it'll tie now and then. It's usually the Tucker finger control shaft. Doesn't matter if it's 14T all the way up to the new balers. First thing you want to go for is this Tucker finger control shaft. You want to make sure the shaft's nice and straight. There's no twist marks in it. Both arms line up with each other, and that this hasn't been moved. 'Cause a lot of the ones from Deere, they'll bend like this. Our product is made with cold rolled steel. It's a lot harder. It takes a heck of a lot more to bend it. Usually it doesn't bend it. It usually strips the threads on the adjustment rod. Now with that being said, a lot of people are selling these parts used online. I've had about 7 customers call me complaining that they paid, pretty good money for used part, get it, and it doesn't work. Get somebody that'll verify that their parts are guaranteed, that they'll give you your money back if the part's no good. If you got a seller on eBay that won't help and work with you, or even explain, hey, oh, this is supposed to fit, don't deal with them. It's just not worth it. Okay, we're gonna move on to knotters. This has been a really hot topic with me, people emailing me on. This is a knotter half. The only difference between this one and the newer ones, late style, is they clamp on, they bolt on. Well, the problem is, for them to fit a 7 or a 6 series or a 24T, 224, or 14Ts, you have to have a bushing kit. A lot of people are offering, saying they'll fit all the balers. They will, but you got to have the bushing kit. It's not a cheap kit, not easy to do, because you do have to still disassemble the older balers to make it fit with the adapter kit. Anyways, with that being said, this came off a 24T. You notice on the back, this is an old style wiper arm. You can see here, this is a molded arm that fits the bill hook. On this knotter here, as you can see, this one has the adjustable wiper, replaceable wiper, and has the replaceable knife. These can be replaced also, just a lot more work. The wiper on this one's actually molded into the arm. A lot of guys, and this is customers been really complaining, getting mad at me, they bring me knotters to put on balers, and they got a grease fitting here or on the bottom. That is a 14T knotter half, and usually you can tell by the part number. They will fit on these balers, not saying they do, but with the age of the knotter, the biggest thing is the hole here in the center gets worn. And when you get side play, like this, side to side on the shaft, which we run into a lot of them and we junk them, once you get side play, all the washers you put against it to hold it tight, all it's going to do is it's baling, even if it's mounted down bolted, it's just going to keep wearing. It's going to wear the washers, and you're going to get where those gears will mismatch, and it'll break the castings. Now, with that being said, I have another knotter here that was purchased by a customer, brought it to me to put on. Somebody on eBay said it was ready to go, good. Not a wasn't going to stand behind it. He fought with PayPal. Since the guy received the item, he was stuck with it. If you look closely, where my finger's pointing, it's brazed. If you look here on the side, it's brazed. This knotter's been broke. And they said it was a working knotter, which it looks like it would probably work, but who wants to pay top dollar or anything for a nodder that could possibly, you can still see the cracks here with my fingers pointing on the back, for a nodder that you're going to put into the field and maybe get out there and make 20 bales and have it break. This is the kind of stuff that I'm kind of getting tired of my customers coming to me and telling me that, you know, this is the stuff that's being sold on eBay and other sites. Not just eBay's not to blame for it, but check your sellers out. If they don't want to stand behind their product, if you get the nodder and it goes boom or bang, they don't want to stand behind it, I'll send you a video of the nodder you're buying baling hay at our barn. You know, I'm not saying that we rebuild them, but we sell nodders that come off balers that work. Other ones get junked. Now moving on, probably the third most common complaint is needles. eBay's a big seller. People pulling these scrap yards now and stuff are pulling needles off balers. Oh, good needle, good needle. John Deere needles will bend, not always break. For instance, I'm going to show you from the back side here. Here's a pair of needles we took out of two different 14T balers. They matched up with our new one. If you notice, look at the arch on them. They're good used needles. But guess what? If you don't have a new one to compare it to, even me with the best eyes, I can't tell from a picture or a photo if it's a good needle or not. This is probably the third most complaint I get, people that buy needles and they are not right. I do have a way to rebend them, re-straighten them if they're not broke or welded. Now to show you, customer bought this off of eBay. He paid good money for it because 14T needles are hard to come by. Now I'm going to show you the difference. Got the two lined up. I'm going to get the arch as close as I can, and you can really tell the difference between those two. The one that's back towards me is the right arch. The one out towards the camera is the wrong arch. You can see the bend in the needle, as long as it's compared to one that is right. I tell everybody, be careful. This happens to all John Deere balers. Someone that's offering you needles, used ones, beware. Get a guarantee. Make them email you saying that we will stand behind that these needles are right. Another thing needles do, you look at that. The one needle's got a curve into it, bent sideways. Used needles, if they've ever been hit, will have that problem. You'll have a hard time adjusting them up to the nodder without them rubbing hard on the bale chamber or against the nodder themselves. I really advise against it. If you're going to buy used parts, go to the machine, see it work. If it functions properly, it's great to buy used parts because it does save a lot of money. But it sucks when you're these people here buying used parts, paying good money, they get shipped to you, then you find out it's as bad as what you had or worse. Now moving on is to saddles. Pull these down. This is probably the fourth biggest complaint I get. People get scammed. This is a 14T needle saddle. Pretty much this is welded together different than the newer balers, but what you're looking at here is a straight pipe, both resting pads, the pads that the needles bolt to. You see them, they're both the same. And a lot of things you want to look for on a saddle is any paint that's like twisted or looks like it's flaked off on any spots here or any unevenness in this bar. We had one saddle that came through here. This a customer brought. It looked like it was really good, but it fooled us because both of these pads had been bent just enough that we couldn't get the needles adjusted into the baler. It fooled even us. I mean, we work on these every day. So I tell people when you're buying used, you really need to get a verification from the buyer that this came off a functioning baler and that they will take them back if they are misrepresented. So with that being said, the biggest thing with saddles is make sure you don't see any bowing. Both of these pedestals here where the needles mount are parallel with each other, are the same. And like I said, you will tell if a saddle's been twisted. It'll look like you took a wire brush to the paint sideways. It'll be flaking off the bar because it's been twisted. Now we're going to work on this baler here. This is one we brought in, we went through and worked, and you can see we tested it, test bale with these, and if we have hay in the field, we will take the balers out and test them in the field. Common things on these ones here, 346s, see a lot of parts online, is the clutch units. There's a small band inside here. It's got fine splines that sits on the shaft. As you can see the play in this one, it's war. A lot of guys are selling these on eBay. Be warned, it's better off spending the extra money getting the new splines, because as you can see, there's a lot of wear. Another thing, back here, there's a lot of, like I said, there's been a lot of controversy on these knotter covers. There's, you could take them off when you're baling, just make sure you got them on so the moisture don't collect. I'll pull the cover off this one so you can see. You can see the chaff buildup in here. This should be blowed out and cleaned out at least a couple times a week or every time you get done baling. You can see the collection, the dirt and stuff on there right now. But any other questions you got, you can come to our website, www.bestbalerparts.com. There's the phone number there, 607-846-5959 if you have any questions. And have a good day.